31st of July. Three news stories. UNOCHA says that humanitarian crisis is unfolding in Tigray and thousands have been displaced in Amhara and Afar regions. Secondly, we have an update on yesterday's news story. Reportedly, an Eritrean opposition group is in the making in Sudan. Thirdly, we have an update from Lalibela, who is in control of this town. Let's start with humanitarian situation report released by United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Activities in Ethiopia. The report says that massive displacements are underway in Amhara and Afar regions. Thousands have been displaced after Tigray Defense Force entered these regions, and fighting is underway very close to these displaced persons as well. Secondly, it talks about Tigray. Report says that on weekly basis, 500 trucks of humanitarian assistance are needed in Tigray. But it was the 12th of July when 50 trucks arrived in Mekelle. After that, no aid has arrived in Tigray. Humanitarian disaster is unfolding in Tigray. Banks are still closed, viewers. And the report says that the bridge, Shire Mesabri bridge, which was blown up, it was temporarily repaired, but once again the bridge has been destroyed because of rising level of water due to heavy rains. So this bridge is not functional. The bridge was temporarily restored, but once again it's dysfunctional. Lastly, the report mentions the plight of Eritrean refugees in Mayani and at the Harish refugee camps. The report says that armed groups have killed at least 2 Eritrean refugees in these camps. The report is not naming any group in this about these atrocities, but US State Department just 2 days ago accused TPLF-backed militias of committing atrocities against Eritrean refugees in Mayani at the Harish refugee camps. The 2 camps are still cut off from UN aid agencies. No aid is arriving there. More than 20,000 refugees are at these 2 camps, Mayani and at the Harish refugee camp. So there is worsening humanitarian crisis in Tigray. Situation is getting bad in Afar and Amhara regions as well. Yesterday we heard that Samra Mekelle Road was opened for the delivery of humanitarian aid to Tigray. So far, no aid has arrived from Afar in Mekelle, viewers. The trucks were released in Abala city, which is in Afar region. The trucks, WFP trucks, might be on their way towards Mekelle, but so far no truck has arrived in Mekelle. So worsening humanitarian disaster in Tigray and Ethiopia, views. Second news story is a follow-up news story. Yesterday I informed you about some speculations and rumors that there was presence of some Eritrean high-level delegation, Ethiopian high-level delegation, and TPLF delegations, and some Eritrean opposition figures in Sudan, viewers. Now, some sources are confirming that an Eritrean opposition front is in the making in Sudan. Mesfin Hagos, former defense minister of Eritrea, who is in exile, reportedly he is in Sudan, and some other opposition figures are also in Sudan. And these opposition leaders are trying to form a joint opposition front against Isaias Afwerki's Eritrean government. Two Eritrean high-level officials, Foreign Minister Usman Saleh and Yemane Kirab, advisor to Eritrean president, have arrived in Khartoum to send a message from Eritrea to Sudan that Sudan should not let its soil to be used for anti-Eritrea activities. That is what we have learned so far from different sources about the presence of different delegations in Sudan. Lastly, viewers, Lalibela, who is in control of this town. An analyst today claimed that Lalibela was under total control of TDF, that even airport had been taken by TDF. I did a video on that. I said we'll try to verify this claim. It needs verification. Yes, Tigray Defense Forces were advancing towards Lalibela. I reported yesterday. They're on their way from Kolmask town towards Lalibela. Now, what we have learned so far, viewers, there is no presence of Tigray Defense Forces in Lalibela so far. I have talked to several sources. They're confirming that Tigray Defense Forces are close to this city, but they have not entered. So the news that the airport has been taken, it's incorrect so far. But TDF, Tigray Defense Force, is trying to enter Lalibela. Once again, we are seeing mobilization inside city, just like we saw in Waldia. In Waldia, Ethiopian National Defense Force tried to withdraw, but locals, militia members stopped them from retreating, and TDF decided against entering the town. Here again, we are seeing that there is presence of Amhara forces and other militias inside Lalibela. Locals have been mobilized as well. Tigray Defense Forces have not entered Lalibela so far. In coming hours, we might see TDF advance towards Lalibela city. But once again, we could see the same threat of civilian casualties which TDF was faced with in Waldia. And we have seen, viewers, that cities, towns which have been taken by TDF inside Amhara, they have been taken rather peacefully. We haven't seen large-scale civilian casualties. And we haven't seen civilians turning against TDF as well. There is no uprising in Kobo, in Alamata, in Koram, in Abergale.